The Mario universe is a vast and lively one, jam-packed with a buttload of different characters. Despite a handful of new faces every once in a while, each Mario game contains characters we've seen for years, faces we've grown to know and love.
However, while these characters have always been a part of the family, many of them have transformed over the years, some much more than others. In no particular order, we thought we'd take a look at 5 Mario characters who have completely changed since their origin games.
Though she may be a princess, the Daisy we know today is a tough-talking, independent, yet kind-spirited tomboy. She's fiercely competitive, and this princess ain't need no plumber to rescue her every 10 minutes like, shall we say, some other princesses do. However, this was not always the case. In fact, Daisy's personality wasn't nearly as fleshed out as it is today. Her debut appearance in the Game Boy Super Mario Land sees her kidnapped and in need of rescue, a job usually assigned to Peach. Who should rescue this damsel but Mario himself? The two even share a kiss, or a floaty heart between them at the end of the game, which Peach would never allow today. It seems Daisy learned to fight back against her enemies, as she has never been captured since her origin game. Her next few appearances, such as in the N64's Mario Tennis and Mario Party 3, depicted Daisy as almost identical to Peach, with merely a different color palette. She had a soft, delicate voice, she was dainty, girly, and, well, princessy. It wasn't until Mario Party 4 that she received her first haircut, and not until Double Dash and Mario Power Tennis that she really began blossoming into her own character. She took a liking to competition, developed a ferocity not seen in Peach, and has truly found her own voice. Literally. Her next move should be obvious, starring in her very own game. Make it happen, Nintendo.
Toad is one of the Mushroom Kingdom's oldest inhabitants, so it's inevitable that he would experience at least a few changes throughout the years. Surprisingly, his physical appearance has remained extremely close to his original design. He's always been an adorable little, mushroom-headed, no-nosed, human-skinned, diaper-wearing, black-eyed, creature. Thank God they finally added light reflections in those eyes. There's one major difference of his that is begging to be addressed: his voice. Let's compare some voice clips real quick. First from Mario Kart 64, then from Mario Kart 8.
Here we go! Yahoo! Here I go!
Somebody, ladies and gentlemen, has had one too many cigarettes. Toad's an excellent example of why it's important to just say no.
What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
Earlier versions of Toad's voice slightly vary as well, from toddler-like cries of joy
Yahoo!
to a delighted child on verge of puberty.
Yes!
So when was the birth of his signature screechy voice? Funny enough, the game that set the standard for Toad's sound was 2001's Super Mario Advance, a colorful remake of the very first game Toad appeared in. He may have gone through changes, as many of us do, but one thing's for sure, Toad simply wouldn't be the same lovable character he is today without his trademark raspiness.
Alright, let's clear the air here. In one of our older videos, 5 Dead Mario Characters, we discussed the absence of DK Jr. in recent gaming history. During that segment, some information is, well, a little not true. As many of you guys, so many of you guys, shared with us. One of us forgot to do their research. It was me, okay? It was all me. It was made apparent to us that the Donkey Kong we know today was not, in fact, the same ape that defied Mario in the original arcade game. I discovered that Cranky Kong is now considered to be the ape who threw barrels at Mario and stole his girlfriend. Cranky Kong, as we know, is DK's grandfather, making DK Jr. the modern Donkey Kong's father. It's a little confusing, especially since the latter two have appeared together before. But what is fact? There have been several theories about these Kong's relationships to one another, and even some past contradictions. So can you really blame me for getting it wrong? The current DK may not technically be the same ape from the arcade game, but the Kong history has developed and expanded, leaving us with the goofy, endearing ape that parties alongside Mario today. DK Jr., allegedly DK's father, clearly followed in his own father's footsteps, attempting to thwart Mario in his own arcade game, Donkey Kong Jr., as well as Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. The real question is, when was there a shift in morality? Perhaps it was when DK Jr. decided it was more important to focus on his mathematics than to ruin the life of a plumber. But I'd like to think it was when Mario invited him to race beside him and his friends in Super Mario Kart. Something of a peace treaty, or a copy of a peace treaty. DK Jr. joined Mario and friends on several other sporting escapades, and eventually his son, quote, the Donkey Kong we know today, did as well. And the rest is history. See friends, there is a valuable lesson to learn here. One does not need to become one's father if one's father is a jealous and cranky chump. And peace can be made among enemies, as long as you've got access to some go-karts and banana peels. Maybe just leave the blue shells at home.
Oh, Birdo. You either love her, or you're just kinda weirded out by her. Either way, the Mario crew seems to enjoy her company, as she appears frequently throughout the Mario franchise. However, as many of you already know, Birdo was once seduced by the dark side, working as one of Wart's minions in Super Mario Bros. 2, attacking Mario and friends by shooting eggs out from the giant hole in her face. She seems to have turned her back on evil altogether since her origin game, aside from a sort of boss fight in Super Mario RPG, I guess? But what you may not have known about this bubbly feminine creature is that she was originally, wait for it, not a she at all. According to the North American Instruction Manual for Super Mario Bros. 2, Birdo was a male creature who, quote, thinks he is a girl and would rather be called Birdetta. We ain't judging you, Birdo, just surprised is all. Following her first appearance, however, she is almost always referred to as a female, and depicted as very flirtatious and girly. That being said, there have been several instances where Birdo's gender is brought up as a mystery, while other times she's referred to as gender indeterminate, such as her trophy description states in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. A curious creature indeed. When all is said and done, the most important question we can ask of her is this. How the crap did she afford that ring on her finger? That's like a 100-carat diamond right there. Yoshi must be rolling in that dough or something.
Today, each Mario brother has a fully realized personality. While Mario is clearly the more boisterous and courageous of the two, Luigi is still universally loved for his more timid and comical nature. This, of course, was not always the case. Everyone's favorite Ghostbuster used to be nobody's favorite anything. That's because, as we all know, Luigi was once merely a green Mario. Quite literally, in the original Super Mario Bros. At least. Slowly and steadily, Luigi worked hard to crawl his way out from living in Mario's shadow. It was a gradual transformation, but one of Nintendo's greatest nonetheless. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels gave Luigi his first tiny glimpse of individuality, a slightly higher jump. Super Mario Bros. 2 was the first game excuse me. Super Mario Bros. 2 was the first game to gift Luigi with a physical difference, appearing slightly taller and thinner than his brother. For quite some time, Luigi's appearance and voice were the only real separations between the two plumbers, but he was still just Mario's brother. It wasn't until the 2001 hit Luigi's Mansion that Green Mario really secured his identity as Luigi. From that game on, Luigi wore his goofiness, clumsiness, and lack of confidence like a badge of honor. One of the greatest things about Luigi's gradual transformation is that it's one many of us can relate to. He lived in the shadow of another for years, but as time went on, he learned to own what made him different, muster up courage in his own way, and was still able to save the day.
Thanks, my bro. Thanks, Mario.
Sure, he's shy, but he doesn't shy away from being himself. That's probably the cheesiest line you're gonna hear all week. But hey, that's just a theory.
Wow, that sure was informative, wasn't it? Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and share with your friends. And if you haven't already, be sure to please subscribe to Erickson Gaming for more discussions, tournaments, contests, live streaming, and much more video game content. This has been James and Andres Erickson. Have a mighty fine day, everybody.